welcome to EP Daily. Today on the show, Ratchet & Clank bring the mayhem in the rundown.
Plus, Jose unleashes an ultimate ninja storm with the latest Naruto video game.
And then Jose and Ben are not heroes, so they're bringing us a review of Not a Hero.
Someone who will use reasonable force unreasonably.
Also coming up, Vic and Scott destroy some cities with a review of Kaiju-A-GoGo. We take a look at Blizzard's Heroes of the Storm and much more today on EP Daily. Brought to you by EV Games. I'm your host, Marissa Roberto, bringing you the latest and everything cool every single day. We don't put any region locking on our show because we want you to enjoy everything from anywhere, starting with the rundown. Gamers have a very big reason to be excited about Nintendo's next console. Nintendo's president Satoru Iwata says that their next machine, codenamed the NX, will likely do away with the region locking found on the Wii U and 3DS. This would give players the ability to buy games from one country and play them in another, which would come in handy for titles that are released months or years apart in certain regions. Expect more details on the NX to trickle in over the coming months. The new console was announced earlier this year when Nintendo entered a partnership with mobile game maker DNA to bring its franchises to smartphones and tablets. The NX itself is expected to hit stores in late 2016. A beloved video game franchise is heading to the big screen with some top talent. Rainmaker Entertainment has announced the voice cast for their upcoming Ratchet & Clank movie. The two main heroes will once again be voiced by James Arnold Taylor and David Kaye, the same actors who voiced them in the games. They'll be joined by the likes of Paul Giamatti, John Goodman, Rosario Dawson, and Sylvester Stallone. The screenplay for the film was co-written by Todd Fixman, who also wrote some of the more recent games. Audiences will be able to catch Ratchet & Clank in theaters on April 29, 2016.
How lazy are they?
That's it for the rundown. Now look who it is to join me. It's the very dapper Scott C. Jones. Scott Jones, you love Ratchet & Clank?
Well, you know that I love Ratchet & Clank, and I've always loved Ratchet & Clank, and one of the things that I've loved about Ratchet & Clank is that they're so charming. Now, the thing is, they've always felt kind of like a Pixar cartoon brought to life, so I'm not surprised that Insomniac has decided to take them and put them in their very own movie. They deserve it more than anybody, I think.
They do deserve it, and you know what? I love that Rainmaker Entertainment is putting this together because I absolutely love Reboot, and these are the same guys that made Reboot, and they're also making Reboot.
Well, let's go back to Ratchet & Clank.
I know, because your buddy Ted Price, you know, he's a part of this because they're using actual visual effects from Ratchet & Clank the game.
I do wash Ted's car every Sunday. Ted, I'll be there this Sunday. Just leave the keys under the welcome mat out front. But yeah, they are. I think they're working very close. I don't know this for a fact, but
I thought you guys are Facebook friends.
Well, we are friends, and I do wash Ted's car, but I think that they are working intimately to get this movie off the ground, and to not only get it off the ground, but to do it right, and to honor the history of this, you know, hallowed video game duo. I mean, they've been doing this, making great games together for a very long time, just like Vic and I used to be together on this show. And now you're here.
Are you resenting that? Okay, great. Let's move on then. Let's move on to Nintendo. Because they said that with the NX, we don't have to have any region locking.
Region locking has been kind of a pain in the ass for consoles historically. It's kind of a pain in the ass for DVD players and Blu-ray players historically. So we'll see what happens. If they're saying they're not region locked and that they're going to be, I don't know what it's called, region free, that's great. I think that's great. And
well,
I don't know,
I mean,
there's so little to talk about when it comes to this console. I think that's why we're focusing on news like that at this point.
Let's move right along now because Jose has a new Naruto Shippuden game, Ultimate Ninja Storm 4.
You better believe it. We're talking about Naruto Shippuden Ultimate Ninja Storm 4. What are you guys bringing with this new game?
Naruto Shippuden Ultimate Ninja Storm 4 is of course the latest in the Ninja Storm series. We released the last game on the PS3 and Xbox 360, but now this game is only for new generation consoles, which means the PS4, Xbox One, and Steam.
And so now that we're going to get Naruto Ultimate Ninja Storm 4 on next-gen consoles, what does that mean to the overall experience within the game?
We're using the new gen consoles and we have one solid concept on this game: absolute immersion. In the previous title, we had new boss battles or maybe new controls that people could access easily, and of course we have those elements in this game, but we're bringing something more by utilizing the console's power and delivering a better ninja game experience to the fans.
Now with these games, they already look pretty much like they do on television. Was it a difficult thing to make them, or try to make them look better?
We got a lot of feedback from fans and people all over the world, and they're saying that the animation and graphics looked really nice on the 360 and PS3, so with the new gen consoles, can you really improve that? Is it possible?
Yeah.
We are, thanks to the new gen consoles, breaking and surpassing our limit. Don't worry about it. We're finding new ways to fine-tune a lot of stuff and make improvements to the animation style. So you can expect this game's animation and graphics to be a leap compared to the older titles.
Obviously, it looks great, but how big would you like to make this game? How epic of a scope would you like to take this series?
This game is going to be epic, and it's going to be huge. Huge things are going to be in it. Our playable roster of characters is going to be the biggest roster, and the story is going to be really, really huge. Volumes of story are going to be included. The original manga ended in November, and that was pretty sad. It lasted 15 years, but Naruto still continues. For example, in Japan right now, the last, Naruto the movie, just came out, and also this year, there's a new generation Naruto project we're planning. So the Naruto manga is done, but Naruto projects are still going on. We're bringing the new projects and movies and all those elements into this game to make something brand new that fans will be really excited about.
And the last thing I have to ask is, when can I have my jacket back?
What? This is Naruto's costume. We asked Shueisha, the licensor, so it's mine. If you want to have it, go to Shueisha, ask Shueisha, and maybe you can have it.
He looks better in it than I do anyway.
Another great one from Jose. That game comes out this fall.
And if you enjoyed that, well, Jose is back. He's got more storms. He's got Heroes of the Storm after this.
Welcome back to EP Daily. We all love Jose.
Oh, we do. He's kind of like a gorilla that'll be your friend.
It's true, he is. You know, one day we gave him an extra banana and then
he did this. Here's Jose interviewing the makers of Heroes of the Storm. Ooh!
Come out, wherever you are.
Blizzard is answering the call to the storm with Heroes of the Storm. Tell me a little bit about adventuring into this world with Heroes of the Storm.
Well, Heroes of the Storm is a hero brawler game that brings all of our heroes together from all of our franchises. So it's Diablo and StarCraft and World of Warcraft all coming together in one battle. We've created this fictional place called the Nexus, which is just a collision of all of our different worlds and worlds between worlds, sort of an alternate dimension where maybe it kind of makes sense for these heroes to be together, but not really. Don't think about it too hard because it doesn't really work. But it's all these heroes coming together to fight. So you got multiple different battlegrounds where you can go and fight different battles with different characters that live inside the Nexus. We're doing everything we can to make this a team game. So there's nothing you can do wrong that's going to really damage your allies. So there's no last hitting, there's no kill stealing. If you see an enemy, dive on him. That's good for you, it's good for your team.
Now, how do you take the team building aspect in games we've seen previously before? How do you make that feel new and make it feel fresh?
Well, everything we're doing about this game is trying to show what can be done with this genre. So, for example, we're not doing a generic shop for all heroes. We're doing a custom talent set per individual hero. So it really allows us to make these heroes come alive in a way that makes sense to us. We actually did start with a shop originally, and we had Arthas buying a new sword, which felt very strange to us because Arthas has Frostmourne, which is an iconic weapon of that character. And it didn't make a lot of sense to us. We started doing the balance as well. We had ideas like, I'd like to give a +3 range ability to a character like a Nubarak. He's this big, tough, tanky beetle character. +3 range and him work. He can suddenly spit acid. It looks cool. Everything's fine. But if that +3 weapon got onto Nova, our long-range sniper, she was even more long-range and the game was broken. And so we went to a custom talent tree per hero. Suddenly, everything opened up for us. We could do all kinds of crazy things. At the same time, we have rules like shared team leveling. You don't level individually, you level as a group. So if your team is doing well, you're leveling up together. And this allows us to do things like have support characters that are dedicated towards support. So your heals can be enormous and your damage can be atrocious. And it feels cool. As a character with strengths and weaknesses, you have a very solid role.
How cool is it to get to play with some of the unique characters that we've seen throughout the history of Blizzard and bring them all together to this battleground?
Yeah, it's been a really blast for us because a lot of these characters, of course, are near and dear to our hearts. They've been part of our sort of history as gamers. You know, characters like Arthas, Kerrigan, Diablo. So, of course, we can explore some weirder characters like Murky the Murloc. This is a character that, you know, he's a Murloc. He can't fight effectively, and he dies all the time. But Murky, he can lay an egg, and every time he dies, he comes back 5 seconds later from that egg. So lay the egg in a town, he'll rush out to fight Diablo, slime Diablo, hurt him a little bit, and die. And then he'll come right back. Hi, I'm here again. He'll attack again, and he'll just wear him down slowly. It's a very unique way to play. So we get these classic, iconic characters like a Diablo. We also get these kind of crazy characters like Murky that really let us do some unique things with the game.
Heroes of the Storm will be out June 2nd.
And listen, we've got more heroes for you.
Yeah, that's true, because Jose and Ben are apparently still friends after their recent divorce, so now here's their review of Not a Hero.
Apparently.
Yeah.
Well, now we are taking a look at a game based on Ben's life. This is called Not a Hero.
Oh.
We took a look at this on the old Steam machine. Ben, what'd you think?
Good one, Jose.
Yeah.
Sorry, that one stung right here. Yeah. This is a 2D kill everything, kind of a Hotline Miami kind of vibe to this thing, like elevator action meets Hotline Miami, where basically your job is you're the campaign manager of an anthropomorphic purple bunny who is transported from the year 2048. He's time traveling, and he's trying to save the world from an alien invasion by getting elected. And your job is to try to get him elected by killing his competition. That's the story, I'm not making it up.
There you go. You are Bunny Lord. You are trying to become the mayor of Vodkaville. First off, I want to become the mayor of Vodkaville because...
You are, dude, you are the mayor of Vodkaville.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, you just come across a crazy cast of characters in this game, and you have 3 sort of objectives that you need to go through throughout each of the levels, and the better that you do, the more higher percentage rating you get for Bunny Lord, and you get to unlock new characters, which unlock a whole slew of new styles and weaponry, and people going away, oh, this guy has shotguns, this guy has machine guns.
It is a gruesome game, even though it's 8-bit and it looks really cute. There's blood splattering everywhere. You've got all kinds of weapons at your disposal. Each character has their own kind of basic weapon, but you can also get extra grenades and rocket launchers and missiles and mines.
Explosive bullets and like crazy ricochet bullets.
You can send cats out.
And they're so cute.
No, they die. They die. Everything dies. It all goes to hell. You know, I thought all that was really playful and fun, and for the first couple hours of Not a Hero, I was really kind of getting into it until I got to some of those like middle of the game
Hard
levels.
You mean?
Oh my God!
Yeah.
Death.
The enemies get relentless the later you get into this game.
One of the things that got a little tiring for me with Not a Hero was how hard they were trying to make me laugh. Like all the little text and all the story backgrounds for each level, they're just trying so hard to make it crazy and goofy, and you've got milkshakes and wombat juice and this and that, and they're just going so hard at it. After a few like levels of it, I was like, just skip, just stop. Yeah, it's too much.
Well, and the fact that there is no voiceover, it's really just like mumbling.
The humor didn't really hit with me. I would just skip that stuff, get right into the game, and I think the gameplay is fun and is a lot more difficult and a lot more rewarding than it looks at first. The first couple levels are such a breeze. You hit that grinding part though, and you really have to master the systems. I like it when games do that because they give you more challenges and something to strive for. You're not just bored. I was still interested in it 10, 15 levels in.
Well, because you have to. I mean, the better you do, the higher approval rating you get for Bunny Lord, and so you want him to be the mayor, right? Better step up your game.
I do. I want to save the world from aliens in 2048.
That's what you have to do. But we got like 25, 30 years.
We've got a while. Well, in that time, we can continue to try to master Not a Hero. I think I will be playing this game again. It was a lot of fun. Jose, what are you going to give it?
I'm giving Not a Hero 8.5 out of 10. I liked it.
Going with an 8 out of 10 myself. Don't be a hero, guys. Don't be a hero.
Just be not a hero.
2 heroes. Heroes reviewing video games.
And up next, we've got 2 more heroes. Oh. Actually, it's just me and Vic reviewing Kaiju-A-GoGo.
Oh, I've got that after the break. Welcome back to EP Daily. What happens when a team of 7 experienced video game developers get together to share their video game dreams? Well, I don't know personally because I wasn't there, but I can imagine it goes something along the lines of robot dinosaurs. Here's Kaiju-A-GoGo.
There's a new game called Kaiju-A-GoGo. I thought this was made up. No, it's actually a game. It's from our old friends at Kerberos here in Vancouver, British Columbia. This is a funny game. It's a strange game. It's got a nice sense of humor, very cartoonish vibe to it.
It doesn't use state-of-the-art 3D graphics or anything like that, but I think the best part about this game is just the concept is very sound, and also one of these types of ideas where you go, why hasn't anybody done this before?
It
makes so much sense.
Monster.
Yeah.
And you're a mad scientist, really, who's in charge of a giant monster, and so your goal is to take over cities around the world, and the way you do that is you have to travel to the city, which takes time. You can speed up time, and days will go by, but you can hustle your mechanical monster to the city and start taking out buildings, start doing damage. There's Vancouver. Did you destroy Vancouver?
I certainly did, and full disclosure, we know some of those guys over at Kerberos, and when they sent us the game, they also said, well, we can put EP in the Vancouver map, and so you can actually find little EPN headquarters in Vancouver, and it was fun destroying that.
I enjoy doing property damage in any game. You know, if I'm playing God of War, I go in, I smash all the vases. Is vases or vases? I say vases.
Okay.
And so whatever I can break, I'm going to break. So being able to go in and level, completely level cities is fun. And you got tanks you can fight with. You've got little, there's, I guess the little gatherings of policemen aren't that strong.
And
but
little infantry dudes and helicopters and fighter jets, they'll all start coming at you. It'll go into full DEFCON mode and things start to get really hairy. And it's embarrassing when these little piss ants take down your giant beast, and then you're basically getting the forehead slap from the mad scientist. It's like, oh my, I'm so embarrassed, I should have made toasters or something.
And you will die at certain points. Because it's very challenging.
It does get hard, and all of the cities are ranked by difficulty. And I think the best way to describe this whole experience is like merging Rampage with SimCity. Because there is a lot of resource management. Time is a resource, and it takes time to rebuild your guy, depending on how much you have him destroyed, or completely build him up again from scratch. You've also got to build your secret island base and put in different utility functions that help to increase all kinds of new skills and abilities that you can implement back into the beast. The fun of the game is destroying everything.
It is.
But you have to earn your way to the real bounty of this game.
It's like a real-time strategy game a little bit, but there are also elements of turn-based strategy here as well. And the thing I kept thinking as I'm playing this, it's a PC only right now, but I'm sure there have to be plans.
This would be great on a tablet.
This would be great on a tablet, and that's absolutely what I thought as I'm playing this. The type on the screen is a little small. I play it in my living room. I got my PC hooked up in my living room. I know this is the life of luxury that I lead.
Who are you? Hugh
I know. I am kind of like Hugh Hefner. I'm having a snifter of brandy, and I'm playing.
Actually, you're more like Bob Guccione.
all right, that's enough from you. But I'm looking at this thing, I'm reading this, I'm like, why am I not playing this on my iPad? This would be perfect to just maneuver. I mean, because it's really not that involved when it comes to the controls. You're just basically touching where you want the monster to go.
That is also the biggest deficit with the game, is the UI is a little cumbersome, a little clunky. It takes a few too many menu clicks to get to where you want to go. Some of the production values it's not quite up there. You know, it doesn't fit the high, lofty levels that the concept really attains and achieves, and also the fun of the play really hits and achieves, which is amazing because this clearly wasn't made with AAA budgeting, but it's still really a fun game. It's still really enjoyable to play, and I would love to see more money poured in, and this thing kind of evolved, and I think that's kind of the state of the game. I think more content is coming, and it's still being worked on. And
there's one monster that's available now, and more monsters will be released subsequently down the road. But you're right, and I keep thinking there's got to be more they could do to make this more palatable, because I want a bigger audience for this game. And you're right, it comes down to the money. I think they made the most that they could make. They did everything they could. There's so much heart and soul and personality in this experience.
It's worth the time. It's worth spending the money and playing the game.
But I love this. I think these guys did a great job. What are you going to give it out of 10?
8.
Gets an 8 for me as well.
All right.
Kaiju-A-GoGo is back that way, but up ahead, my friends, the Twitter question of the day. That's next.
If you want more EP, go to our website, epn.tv, for bonus content and full episodes. We're also on Facebook and Twitter.
Welcome back to EP Daily. It's time now for our Twitter question of the day, the best part of every show. Today's question comes from Ryan. Ryan's been on the show before. He is at Rybo_. Ryan's question is, what is your favorite video game vehicle? We love driving in video games. As soon as we see anything,
you just want to hop into it.
You just want to hop into it, no matter what it is. What's your favorite one of all time?
I can't pinpoint one particularly. I don't know. I always feel like these questions put me on the spot a little bit.
That's Ryan for you.
It's always Ryan. It's always you, buddy. I just love driving in all the Grand Theft Auto games, but especially Grand Theft Auto Chinatown Wars because I loved playing it on my DS. I loved that, and it was just so easy to navigate through all of the different
that's
boroughs.
enough from you.
Okay, fine.
Listen, I love driving all the vehicles in the Grand Theft Auto games. I like driving the garbage truck. All the crazy vehicles are fun to drive. But you know what? For me, my personal favorite all time, Warthog from the Halo series.
Oh, nice.
So fun to drive. I love the control scheme. I love that some of your virtual friends can actually ride along with you.
You know what? I like that one. I'm going to steal that one. Okay?
Nope, that's
your answer is mine
you
now
got your
too.
terrible choice on your side over there.
We've got more coming for you in the next episode of EP Daily, but don't forget you can catch all of this all at EPN.tv.
And stay tuned for the next episode of EP Daily because we got a very cool behind-the-scenes look at Tomorrowland. We'll see you then.
Bye.
EP would like to thank its sponsors, Nintendo, Xbox. EP's mobile coverage is brought to you by Gameloft, makers of Dungeon Hunter 5, which you can play for free on iOS and Android right now.
That's not mine.
What's not yours?
The pen. I've never...
It was supposed to be a place where the ideas of science and exploration and medicine and all the things that we've grown in over the last 3 or 4 centuries, particularly in the last century so quickly, is able to grow without versions of politics holding it down. It was able to grow because it was pure. And they just said, this is the smartest people, these are the most interested people, all working for the same goal, which is to make their world better and hope that that can spread.